I'm gonna lose
Yeah.
more weight just by.
Hey, listen, you're gonna lose weight, and I want to say this because you got more weight to lose. But right now, though, Mooney, you're not losing weight. You just got to lose waste.
Right.
'Cause some of us have lost a lot of weight, but we still carrying a lot of waste.
Amen.
And there are moments where the weight is not what kills us; it's the waste. And that's not only mental, that's not only physical waste, but it's mental waste. It's emotional waste. It's time waste. Are y'all understanding what I was saying?
Yes.
And this is the key to becoming successful, is to be able to determine how what's waste and what's not waste. Does that make sense?
Yes,
And
sir.
so, let's talk about waste for a moment, because one of the biggest things that we waste is time. We waste time. We don't maximize time. We lose opportunities because we waste time. And one of the things, as you heard me talking about earlier when we just jumped on, and what I talked about this morning, is the fact that every opportunity you get, or every time you get an opportunity, you should seize it. There are many people that I come in contact with that does not know what I used to look like. They don't know how much I used to weigh. They've never seen me at a 54-inch waist. They've never seen me at 298 pounds, and most of it was in my gut. They haven't seen that. So as a result, I have to find a way, and the time that I have with them, to be able to interject my process as well as my testimony. I just want to make certain everybody's following me, because what happens is, what causes people to overcome is the words of their testimony, the words of your testimony. The greatest ad is an ad that tells somebody's testimony. People are moved by stories. If you think about it, Dr. Diamond Mooney, right now we're in an age, soap operas used to be very, very popular. And it was very, very popular because it was a series, right? And it seemed like, and they tried to make it as real life as possible. Two of the biggest things in entertainment today is series, watch this, and reality TV. People are infatuated with knowing the story behind the person. And they're so infatuated that they set their DVRs to it. They're so infatuated that they binge watch it. You understand what I'm saying? So this is why we've told you in social selling and multimedia marketing, multi-level marketing, that your story matters. And you should be building your story, because your story, the telling of your story, I need somebody to put this in the chat. It just came to me right now. Put it in the chat. The telling of your story will always have greater impact than the selling of your product or service. I need y'all to get this. As leaders, everybody should be building their story. The telling of your story will always have greater impact, and it will always increase a greater closing ratio than the selling of your product or your service. Why? Because everybody wants somebody that they can relate to. Are y'all getting this? I was volunteer teaching today at this, I was volunteer teaching today. I do it every week. I volunteer teach, been doing it for about 3 years. I teach entrepreneurship, public speaking, and politics. And I teach it to 5th through 8th graders. And there was a student that I can tell that does not like school, don't care about school, don't care about being successful in school. And what I noticed is that whenever the class is actively engaged, she would find somebody that would listen to her, become a distraction to them, and ultimately begin to say things to make that person relate to them. I said today in front of the whole class, I said, I'm gonna tell y'all a secret. Losers like company. Misery loves company. Everybody want to be associated with somebody, even that person that don't care about whether or not they want to be successful. A failure is going to look for a failure to connect to. Are y'all getting this? And so when you tell your story, and you tell your story to people that has the same pain, fear, and desire that you have, it will have such a great impact that they'll be willing to give you their ear so that you can get their mind and ultimately cause them to respond to your favor. Y'all heard me say this, 95% of all healthy business relationship is relationship. The other 5% is business. I think sometimes we focus more on the business side than we do the relationship side. When you develop a relationship and find a common denominator in the relationship, oh, y'all gonna catch this. You won't have to sell them anything. You would just have to tell them what to do, and they'll do it, watch this, based on your word and the relationship. Is this making sense? You got to learn how to build the relationship where you're no longer selling, you're simply telling. And in telling, they buy whatever you didn't sell them. Y'all see this? But it comes through the hall. Listen, Phyllis calls me, y'all. I'm gonna show y'all how relationship works. Phyllis will pick up the phone and say, Dan, I need you to go to some crazy app, download the app, fill out the profile. I don't know, can I just be real with y'all? I'm gonna be my uncle or my father. I don't know what the hell the app is for. I have no idea. But because Phyllis told me to do it, she will call me, tell me to do it. I'll be busy, say, okay, do it. We'll hang up. And I didn't done it and don't even know why I did it, but I did it because she didn't have to sell me anything because my person, my Phyllis, my midwife, the person I got a relationship with, told me to do it. So guess what? No questions asked, I do it. And we work out the details later. That's relationship.
And it costs money. You forgot that part.
And it always costs me something. 500, 600, 700. What the heck now, Phyllis? I'm just trying to help y'all. But it's the relationship that's been built and established. And you could build relationships. It don't take, watch this, it don't take a lifetime. Of course, the relationships evolve, trust evolves. But when you watch this, the fastest way, here we go, to build a relationship with somebody you don't know is to make it all about them and not about you. Let me say that again. Y'all, somebody should put that in the chat. The fastest way to build a relationship with somebody you don't know is if you make it all about them and not about you. Now, y'all tell me if y'all can understand, y'all can see how that works. So this is what we're into right now. We're into relationship selling based on what their needs are and not what your needs are. That's what this is. If we care more about them and less about what we can get from them, we'll get everything we want.
You hitting the ball out the park tonight, boy. I just want you to know.
Thank you. But so it's very critically important. It's very critically important, you guys. If you're going to win in this game, you're going to win with developing relationships. I don't want you to be a master of selling. I want you to be a master of building relationships. That's what I want you to master. That's what I want. And here it is. Not only build relationships with your prospects, build relationships with your team leaders. Build relationships with your team. Build listen, I'm training right now. One of my clients, they're going through a major transition of leadership. And there's some conflict in one of the departments, some major conflict. And in one of the sessions we had, they said, well, Dan, let's let this person, the new person over that department, deal with the conflict. The conflict is personal between two other supervisors. But the person that's new to the department, he's not new to the company, he's just new to the department. But he doesn't have a relationship with those two individuals. And part of what they're saying let him deal with is, watch this, is for him to have to come in and correct them and rebuke them. I said, you do that, they're not going to receive him, and you're going to set him up for ultimate failure because he don't have the relationship to rebuke them. What has to happen is, let the person that's in position, that's transitioning out, that already have built the relationship, that have the rapport, let them come in, have private conversations with the individuals, smooth it over, then call a three-way Zoom and work the transition, introduce the conflict. So now you're you're delegating and transitioning the authority, watch this, and the weight of authority to the new guy, which now says, I'm endorsing the new guy. You respected me, but I also want you to respect the new guy in this process of resolving the conflict. Are y'all catching this? So as a result, that's what we're working in that. But getting back to how that relates to this, you gotta develop relationships with your team, because when it's time for you to check your team, when it's time for you to crack the whip, when it's time for you to give them a pull-up, when it's time for you to, you understand, there are times, Mr. Diamond Mooney, I respect him. That's Mr. Diamond Mooney. That's my man. I love that guy. But we have our moments. We have our moments. Same thing with Miss Phillips. When she's talking about something happened, I waited till everybody left. And I pulled her to the side and I got into her. Y'all understand? Why did you just, don't you ever just, but there's a certain level of respect. I may not be able to do that with some of the other people that's on the line right now, because even though you respect me, you value who I am as Coach Dan, as Pastor Dan, guess what? I haven't developed that personal relationship where I can come in and rebuke you and it still be okay and cause you to want to work. So you got to develop the relationship with your team. Develop that rapport. Relationships matter.